This is the second to last homework, and it says final review. In fact, this next homework, homework 22, is really more of a final review. As you can see, in the beginning it goes over labeling notes and harmonics, things like that, stuff from the beginning of the class. That being said, we haven't really gone over the last two chapters as much as the rest, so I'm going to start with that material here, starting at Roman numeral 2. It says, in the given key, identify the chords by lead sheet chord symbol above the staff and Roman numeral below the staff. So it gives you the key, and then it tells us which things we're supposed to label. And I'm like, okay, C major. So this is the first chord in C major, so I say it's a 1 chord, and it's a C chord, capital C. This next one is the 4th chord, and we can say that C, D, E, F, right? C, D, E, F. So 4th chord. So I put Roman numeral 4 down here, and F. Next we have a D chord, and in the key of C, that's a 2 chord. It's a minor chord because although we have this perfect fifth here, we have a minor third. Let's change this to a brighter color. Okay, C major. Let's look at this last one here, and it's the 5th chord, C, D, E, F, G. So we say uppercase 5, and then we say G chord. Next we have A major, and it's A, C sharp, E, first chord, so it's a 1 chord, A chord. Next it's the 5th note, so it's 5th chord here. And we know that chords 1, 4, and 5 are major in a major key, and 2, 3, and 6 are minor. The oddball out is 7, which is diminished. Okay, next one up here, this is the 3rd chord, A, B, C, so it must be minor, and it actually has a sharp in there from the key signature, so make sure to write that, C sharp, minor. This one here is G, so tonic is here A, so it must be, that would be 8, and so G, or G sharp rather, would be 7. So it's a 7th chord, or G sharp, and as we just saw here, the 7th chord is diminished. We could also figure that out because from G sharp to D is a diminished 5th. Next here we have a minor key, G minor, rather than B flat major. So it starts out with a minor 1 chord. And if we want to look at the intervals, we can, perfect 5th and minor 3rd. Next one, we have a C chord, which is a 4th chord. And as you may recall, in minor keys, if it's natural minor anyway, we kind of reverse the order of the qualities of chords. 1, 4, and 5 are major, and the other ones are minor except for 2, which is diminished. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So normally 1, 4, and 5 here in a minor key would be minor. Now this one and some other ones can be affected by making it harmonic minor. In the key of G harmonic minor, which we're in, we would have an F sharp in there. So that would affect the 5 chord, for instance. Next we have this F chord here, which is F, A, C, and that's the 7th chord in the key, one before G. So we go major 7. But this one here, which is normally be the minor 5 chord, has the sharp in it, F sharp from the harmonic minor. So that makes it into a major 5 chord. Let's write this here. And the 5 chord is D, so we say 5 and we say D. In this example, it's kind of like the last one, except for we have to create the chord ourselves. So it gives us the Roman numeral and key, and we have to create the chord. It wants the lead sheet symbols on top, and let's see. Yeah, just lead sheet symbols on top since we have the Roman numeral already. Okay, starts out with G, it says 5 chord. I'm just going to go like this and put key signatures in here so I don't have to worry about them. G has key signature of 1 sharp, F sharp. The 5th chord in G is G, A, B, C, D. So I write D, F, A. And I write D chord. Next, key of A minor, lowercase there. A minor is the 5th chord. A minor has no sharps or flats except for, this looks like a major 5 chord, so it actually must be the harmonic minor. So I'll think that in A harmonic minor we'd need a G sharp to be in the key signature, or to be used. So I'm just going to put it in parentheses here. Let me know that it would have that sharped. The 5th chord is an E chord, so normally it would just be E, G, B, but because of this G sharp, it's got to be a 5 chord that's major. Next, key of C major, 2 chord, no sharps or flats for C major, and I just go D, F, A. Oh, and of course it's 2 chords, so D minor. Next is the key of D minor, and D minor is the same key signature as F, its relative major, which is 1 flat. So I say, what's the 6th chord in D minor? And that's D, E, F, G, A, B flat. So it's going to be a B flat chord, B flat, D, F. Next one here, it's a key of E minor, and that looks, I think that symbol here is actually supposed to be a smaller little degree sign above it. It should look like this. So that would be 2 diminished. Okay, E minor has 1 sharp, which is F sharp from the key of G, and its 2 diminished chord would be F sharp, A, C. So we say F sharp, and because it's diminished, dim. Or you could say F sharp, the little degree sign above it. Next, A major and the 7 chord, again diminished. So 7th chord is 1 before A. A has 3 sharps also, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. So I'm going to build a G chord, G sharp, B, D. Just put that there just to let us remember that. And I say G sharp diminished. A flat, the 3rd chord, A flat major, has 4 flats, B, E, A, and D. So I'm going to go to the 3rd chord, A, B, C. It's got to be a C chord, C, E flat, G. So C minor. Next, F sharp, and it's a 1 chord. F sharp has 6 sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, and not B. First chord is an F sharp chord, so I just put it in there. Next one, D flat, okay, 5 flats, B, E, A, D, G, and it's 4th chord, so D, E, F, G, it's a G chord. Forgot to put these in here. Last one, G minor, 2 flats from the key of B flat, Okay, it's the third chord, G, A, B. Okay, so it's a B flat chord. And then we're done with this part. This next part says create the requested chord in the requested inversion. G minor first inversion is our first one. Okay, so G minor chord. Let's first go ahead and just do this again to make it clear where we're working. In G minor, it's two flats, B flat. Oh, G minor chord rather. So G minor chord is it has to have a perfect fifth, G to D, and it has to have a minor third, which would be G to B flat. Remember, C, F, G, the base of C, F of G equals major 3. So to make it minor, I lowered that B flat. To make it minor. Okay, so now we have a minor chord, but we need it in first inversion. So I'm going to take this G, put it up here to the top. Now I have B flat, D, G. And that's my first inversion chord. Here we have, it says key of A major, second inversion, chord of A, second inversion. Normally this would be A, C sharp, E, perfect fifth here, major third here. But now I'm just going to put this top note here on the bottom. Or another way of thinking about it is move each of these bottom notes up there. So these notes right here, this would go up, then this would go up to make it in second inversion. Okay, so now we have E, A, and C sharp. And we have this 6 and this 4th. B diminished chord in root. Okay. Here's B, B, D, F. Oh, it says root position, so we don't have to move it anymore. And as we know, best friends can't date, so BDF is already in root position and diminished. Next here, D sharp minor first inversion. Okay, so I'm going to just first of all make a D minor chord, since that's easy, and then put the sharps on it. Then I'll invert it. So D minor chord is D, F, A. Okay, well, if all the sharps are the same, then it's going to keep the same quality. So I'm just going to go now D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. So everything's sharped. What else? First inversion. Okay, so I take this D and put it up on top. I have F, A, here's a C, D. Make sure that each of them is sharped. And there we go. A 6/3 chord. B in second inversion. Okay, a B is a capital, so B major. B major would be B, D, and not regular F because best friends can't date, but B, D, F sharp makes this a perfect fifth. We know chords, rather thirds, with a base of bead. Those are minor thirds, and this has a base of B here. So we need to change the third to be bigger. Instead of B to D, we'll make it B to D sharp. Cool. So B, D sharp, F sharp makes me a B major chord. Problem is now I need second inversion. So I'm going to have to put those bottom two notes on top. It'll go F sharp and B and D. And then again, I have to make sure this F is sharped, and the D is sharped. F sharp minor in root position. Okay, well, let's start with something maybe slightly easier. Let's see, we know that if we do FA, let's see, FAC, that's major, and so we know that F sharp, A sharp, C sharp is major too. So we got this perfect fifth here. But if we take this F sharp to A, it's a minor third here if we don't sharp it, so that creates a minor chord. Another way you can think of that again is base of C, F, G equals major 3, right? So normally F to A equals major third. So then if we did F sharp to A, it gets smaller and equals minor third. G diminished in first inversion. Okay, let's just start out with a G chord. Here's G, B, D. Now this is a perfect fifth here. If we want to make it smaller, we can't change the G because it tells us that that's what we start on, so let's change the D to be D flat. Now it's a diminished fifth. Okay, but what about the bottom interval here? We know that C, F, G equals major 3, so we need to take this third of a G to B and make it smaller by making it G to B flat. Now we have G diminished, but it's not in first inversion, so we really need to move this G up to the top. I can move everything down to the bottom because it's kind of high up here, and instead I'm just going to move it all down to the bottom except for the G. I'm going to go G, B flat, D flat, so we're going to B flat, D flat, and G. Oh yes, first inversion, okay. And last one, G flat augmented in root position, okay. So here's G, B, D, a major chord. If I wanted to make it a G flat chord, I would just go like G flat, B flat, D flat. But augmented makes the fifth go higher. So instead of G flat, B flat, D flat, I'll have G flat, B flat, and then just D natural at the top. And they wanted G flat augmented in root position. It's already in root position, so we're good to go. Okay, in this part it says notate the chords for the following progression. Label each chord with lead sheet chord symbols on top of the staff. So basically it gives us various chords found in one key, and we have to write them out. Let's always start just by writing out the key signature. Key signature for G major is 1 sharp, so F sharp, and a 1 chord would be G, so I say G, B, D. For 2, it's going to be A, C, E. 4, G, A, B, C, so C, E, G. 6, 2 higher than that, E, G, B. 5 chord is D chord, so D, F sharp, A. I'm just going to put this there. It's a bit redundant, but just to remind us that it comes from the key signature. 3rd chord in G is G, A, B, so it's a B chord, so B, D, F sharp. And this last one here is a 7 chord, and since 7 chord in a G is G, B, D, F sharp, so that's F sharp, A, C, diminished chord, since we have this, right, diminished 5th. Okay, and that's not what they want for us, that, yes. Let's do it for now for E flat. E flat major has 3 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat. 1 chord is E, G, B, E flat, G, B flat rather. 5 chord starts here, 1, 3, 5, so It's going to start out on a B flat, D, F. 2 chord is F, E, F, F, A, C, A flat rather, but we know it from the key signature. 4 chord in E flat, E, F, G, A flat, so A flat, C, E flat. 2 chord, well, they already asked us for that, right? So it's just one more of those F, A flat, C chords. 7th chord in E flat is one below E flat, so it's got to be a D chord, and so it's D, F, A flat. It's in the key signature, but just as a reminder. And then this last one here is the 6th chord. 6th chord is an equivalent of going E, F, G, A, B, C, up 6 to C, or you can go down 3, E flat, D, C. Either way, C chord. So we go C, E flat, G, and those are the chords. So let's write out the qualities because I forgot to do that, the lead sheet symbols. And that's E flat because it's major. Here is B flat major. Here's F minor, A flat major, F minor, and D diminished, and then C minor. Okay, in this example we're supposed to identify the inversion, root, and quality of each chord. And first we need to figure out how to see if they're in root position or not, so we can find out what the chord name is, because the chord name will be on the bottom of root position chords. Well, this one here you can see is stacked like a snowman, and it has F, A, C sharp, bass clef, F, A, C sharp. Since this is evenly spaced here, space, 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 it could be space, 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 or line, line, line. Since it's evenly spaced here, we know it's in root position. This one's not in root position because it's not evenly spaced. It's line, line, and then jumps all the way up here to the space, so it's a 4th here. So same thing with this one. So we have to first flip them around to see what they are. And I'm going to move this G flat down to the bottom because I can see if I did that, then they would line up evenly. So I'll go G flat, B flat, D flat, and that must be a G flat chord. Okay, its root then is G flat, and since we had taken it instead of using the root on the bottom here, but we used a third of the chord, then it's been flipped around once, so it's in first inversion. So first inversion. What's the quality of it? Well, if we just covered up all the flats, we could see it would be just like G, B, D, which is a major chord. So major. Next one up here, we can do the same thing. We can see that this C should really be at the bottom here. If we did that, we'd have C, E, G. So the root is ultimately C, if we put it in root position. Its inversion, it's been flipped around once by taking this C and moving it to the top. So it's first inversion. And the quality is major, C major chord. This is bass clef, yes. Next one here, F, A, C sharp. As we said earlier, it's in root position. We can see that because it's evenly spaced here. So it's got an F at the root. It's in root position, and the chord is normally F, A, C would be a major chord, but F to C sharp here makes it an augmented 5th. So this is an augmented chord. Okay, I can tell with this one again that the order of these things is wrong because there's a big gap in between and it should be all spaced together. Okay, so this F really should be up here. I can see it should be up there, moved around. B, D, F. So let's do that. The chord would normally be B, D, F. The F's at the bottom, so this is the root position here. This would be in first inversion, and this with F at the bottom would be in second inversion. So I can see it's a second inversion. The root of it is actually a B. And we know that if we go from B to F, it's a diminished fifth because best friends can't date. So it's in second inversion, and it must be diminished. Same type of thing here, but treble clef. Let's do it a little bit faster. Okay, what's the root? G, inversion, first, and quality, G, B flat, D is a minor. Next, I see that this could be moved down to here to make it even. E, G, sharp, B. So the root is E, it's in first inversion, and the quality is major because I have this major third here. Next, I can see it has this one had a big gap on the top, this one has a big gap on the bottom, and that makes it easy for me to see the inversion it is. If it has a big gap on the bottom there, I know that it's going to be in second inversion, but I can just rearrange it. I can take this one, put it on top, and that would be the order. F sharp, or rather it's in treble clef, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. So the root is D sharp. It's in second inversion. And D sharp, F sharp, A sharp is the same as just kind of crossing all these out and saying DFA. Right? We have this DFA. So that would be D minor. So this is D sharp minor. So quality is minor. Next one here. See, it's also got this bigger gap on the bottom. So I know it's in second inversion. But again, I can just move this thing over so it's even. Now we have E flat, G flat, and B flat. So the root is E flat, and it's in second inversion. And let's think about this. E, G, B. We have E flat, G flat, and B flat. And if none of these were flat, if we just got rid of these all, then that would be an E minor chord in the key of C major. Right? We have this perfect fifth, and we have a bass of B, E, A, or D, E there, so a minor third. So we know that's got to be a minor chord. So this last part says invert each chord as specified, then identify the quality and root. Okay. So this first one, it says, gives us this chord, and says put it in first inversion. So what's the chord? First of all, I can tell that this thing is in root position because it looks like a snowman, evenly spaced, A, C sharp, E, space, space, space. Okay, so to invert it, I take the bottommost note and I put it up on top. It's an A here, and then I'm going to put it up to here. Next pitch octave up. So I just go C sharp, E, C sharp, E, A. Okay, and the quality is it's an A, C sharp, so that's a major third, so it's major quality. And what's the root? The root is A. I guess we can answer this stuff first and then put it in inversion. Okay, next one here, treble clef, so we want a quality then root. Okay, so root, we can see is F sharp. Quality, since we have, instead of having the same accidental on the fifth, we have a sharp. So this would normally be perfect, but we actually push it up here, make it smaller because of the sharp. So it becomes a diminished fifth. And from F sharp to A is normally F to A is a major third, but this moves it up to a minor third, so diminished quality. It wants to put it in second inversion. Okay, fine, let's do it. Second inversion would mean we move both of these notes to the top. So I'm just going to leave the top one on the bottom now. Leave the top one there, the C. And then I'm going to put the F sharp and the A on top. This one we have, oh, well, this gives us one that's not in root position. So let's first put it in root position, which would be evenly spaced here. That would be an A flat, C, E chord. Normally A to E would be a perfect fifth, but so this flat makes it larger by moving the space between the notes downwards. And what's the, I think it asks us, the quality, then the root. Okay, well, root of the chord ultimately would be A flat. Quality, since this fifth got larger, is an augmented fifth, so augmented chord. And once it's in first inversion, it's currently in second inversion. So root position would be A flat, C, E. And then we can just take this A flat to the top and go C, E, A flat to make a first inversion. See this one here, it's root position, we can see because everything is evenly spaced. So let's now see what it is. Quality, well, all fifths with the same accidental are perfect except for those that have both B and F. This is not one of those cases. It's got G and D, but this G sharp here moves things up and it squishes the size of the fifth, making it smaller. Because of that, what I'm going to do is realize that it's a smaller fifth or diminished fifth, so the quality is diminished. And the root of the chord is G sharp. Putting it in first inversion, what we normally do, and take this G sharp and put it up an octave. And then you can put the other notes back down here.